Hey everyone, welcome to the horror pre-show. I'm Cecil, Laird, and while you guys wait for the live stream to start tonight, I'm going to do a little bit of a fan mail unboxing just to pass the time and let some people filter in to the actual stream so they are ready for what we are doing tonight. But first off, I have a package from Womp Stomp Films. Now, if you guys don't know, Womp Stomp Films are the same people that brought us Never Hike Alone. So obviously Vince DeSanti and his crew, they made Never Hike Alone. We did a little bit of helping with Disappear, which was the Never Hike Alone music video, and that is available online, and we actually did a whole hour-long behind-the-scenes special for that. So that is available on the channel if you're interested. And then now it has just arrived. Now we have the matching Blu-ray Never Hike in the Snow. I do like the artwork on the cover. It's just a cool sort of drawing representation of that scene from the actual movie. And then there's a ton of special content behind the scenes. So Never Hike in the Snow and Disappear. So Disappear is on here. Never Shoot in the Snow, behind the scenes look in the making of Never Hike in the Snow. I believe some of our footage was used in that special. We'll have to watch that. The director's commentary, How to Never Hike in the Snow, little featurette. Blood in the Snow, concept art of Never Hike in the Snow photo gallery. So, and then a gag reel as well. So lots of cool content. Lots of cool content that we'll have to check out and talk about maybe at a later date during our review roundup. Of course, it came with a signed card, just like the first movie did. So there you go, Never Hike in the Snow, joining my Friday the 13th collection over on my Blu-ray shelf. So thank you very much to Womp Stomp Films. I received that because I am a backer of their campaign, so I got the Blu-ray, and I'm excited to have it on the shelf with the rest of the Friday the 13th series. Next up is a 3-part package and a letter from someone that we've had on the channel before, a long-time viewer of the channel and friend of the channel, Sam Glass. So he sent us what appears to be 3 new movies. I'm guessing one of these is the one that he requested as a commentary. There's a letter as well. Okay. Nice little card. Yeah, I don't feel the particular need to read that out loud to everyone. And then let's see what he sent. I think these will pertain a lot more so to what we have going on in the channel. Let's find out. Ooh. Lady in White, the director's cut. I've never seen this movie. I don't know anything about it, but it reminds me of a song I knew a lot of growing up. Lady in Red is dancing with me, cheek to cheek. Lady in White, I don't know anything about this. On Halloween 1962, 10-year-old Franny Scarlatti's classmates lock him in the coffin-like confines of his 4th grade cloakroom, closet I'm guessing, where he's forced to spend the night unbeknownst to anyone alive. When the darkness comes, Frankie is horrified to discover the ghost of a little girl murdered in the same room 10 years earlier. How he comes to solve the mystery of who killed her and bring her to her final peace makes for a terrifying and heartwarming journey into the realm of human experience. Ooh, that sounds good. I want to give that one a try. Okay. I'll definitely give that one a look and then pass it off to one of my cohorts. Now, one of these I know, again, has to be the one that he requested. Let's see if it's this one. No, it is not. So this one is one I've heard of, but I've never actually watched. It's called May. I don't know much about it. I saw it on the DVD shelves at either Blockbuster or wherever it was, maybe the House of the Used, which is a local place that actually still rents movies out here in Arizona. I've heard about it. I don't know that I've seen it. I don't think we've covered it on the channel. If so, then we might have to do a little double coverage somehow or something like that, but I don't think that we have. So thank you, Sam. Interested to check that out. Don't know much about it. May never really fit in, and growing up with a pirate's patch to cover her lazy eye did not make things easier. Yikes. Even as an adult, her best friend and sole companion is a doll given to her by her mother, until she sees Adam. In awe of his beauty, especially his hands, she pursues a relationship for the first time in her life. But she soon finds out that people are not 100% perfect. Only certain parts of them are. Ooh, okay, so like a weird female Frankenstein thing. Interesting. And then I'm guessing this is going to be the one that he sent for commentary, which sounded interesting. I had never heard of until he requested it. Ooh, and it's the Blu-ray one. Okay, so it's a 2-pack. Okay. So I think he's only asking for one of these, but it came in a 2-pack for the Blu-ray. It is Race with the Devil. And it came with, is that Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry? Okay, don't know what that is, but Race with the Devil is the one that he was talking about. Says, for old friends Roger and Frank, Peter Fonda and Warren Oates, and their wives, it was supposed to be the best damn vacation they ever had, but their RV road trip takes a deadly detour at a secluded campsite when they accidentally witness a satanic sacrifice and race with the devil. Now horror hits the highway as the couple is pursued by satanic cultists through some of the most intense car chases and one of the greatest twist endings in drive-in movie history. Ooh, cool. Directed by Jack Starrett, who was also an actor and played the memorable role of the vicious Deputy Galt in First Blood. All right. That sounds fun, man. I'm telling you, that one sounds good. So I'm excited to take part of that. So we're going to be doing a commentary of that in the very near future. So that's all for the unboxing, or the fan mail unboxing that I had. Forgive me, I'm melting in Arizona. It's already ungodly hot here. So thank you guys so much for watching this. And now we will get on to the show proper. So until next time, remember, watch the regular show.
Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith.
I'm Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Hi, I'm Kane Hodder.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Barbeau.
This is Fred, the Hammer Williamson.
What's up? I'm Tiffany Shepard.
Hey, this is Miko Hughes.
Hi, this is John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper.
And I'm Bill Mosley.
And Spooky Nooches, man.
You're watching The Horror Show.
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 The Horror Show. It's nothing but joy.
Have you checked the children?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better. You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Welcome back, ghouls and girls, to the Horror Show. Slam a drink, grab a seat. It's news with booze.
What's up, everyone? I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Jaime and Fuego.
And we are joined today by a guest, none other, if you don't realize, by the person sitting above my head here. We are joined by none other than Wiliscredia's CP. What's up, CP? How you doing?
I just didn't want to type in the chat, so I figured I'll just come in and show up anyway. So.
Exactly. We didn't warn everyone that you were going to be here, so...
Yeah, you surprised me too, so I was pretty stoked because...
I didn't tell Fuego either.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because this last week, Lindsay had food poisoning, and you know, Chauncey is becoming busier, and it's been a little bit tough trying to nail down show business, but hopefully tomorrow we can return to it properly in some capacity. And dude, I am so stoked to have you here for the horror-specific stuff that I know you told me you were trying to veer away from, but your perspective...
He just told me that. I was like, oh, shit, I got him on the wrong channel then.
No, not at all, because you still have a lot to say. It's just Halloween stuff is a little bit of regurgitation at this point, I would imagine.
Yeah, and it's like you said, Fuego. It's it's a bit spotty over on show business. So I'll come to you guys. It's fine. It's fine. I could talk horror. I'll just do it somewhere else. It's fine.
Well, Lord knows I only get invited on once every year and a half or so. So what are we going to do?
You were just on.
I know that was my year and a half appearance. All right, guys. So we have a lot to discuss, and even in addition to the 16 stories that you see on the side over there, there's a lot more to discuss that CP is going to chime in on. So what we're going to do is we'll go through maybe 5 stories, and then we'll go to CP for another topic that he wants to talk about, and then maybe 5 more, and then CP, we're involving you that much, so you better get your shit together, buddy.
Well, some of it I genuinely don't know, so you just go ahead.
That's okay. Well, you said you wanted to talk about trailers and stuff, and we can certainly discuss that. So, but we're going to start off. So, guys, just so you know, I did all of the graphics for 15 wonderful news stories on the left. You'll see that there is a news story number 0 up at the top because that came out after I had already done the graphics. So once we cover news story 0, that's going to disappear and it's going to become 1 through 15. So don't be freaked out.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like Metallica songs. This is how I disappear.
What I'm saying is I just didn't want to redo 15 other graphics because of one goddamn news story. So, yes, the very first news story we are going to talk about is that Supernatural has a prequel series in the works, and there have already been a number of different twists and turns with this story. So, Fuego, why don't you lay it out from the very beginning for everyone?
Yeah, so first and foremost, no shocker with the fact that nobody ever wanted this series to end. It was the longest running North American dramatized series that had ever happened at 15 seasons.
Longest running genre series for sure for people like us.
Easily. And so, however, they were just like, how can we continue to milk this cow, so to speak? And obviously, the big revelation is that Jensen Ackles and his wife have formed a new production company and that they are developing a Winchester's prequel series. Now, keep in mind that there is 4 different volumes of a prequel comic book. However, that explored more so Sam and Dean and the fact that Dean was already trying to be, a hunter and so on, and, Sam just kind of getting pulled into it. So it filled in some of the gaps around the first season. But this is apparently going to explore more so Mary and some of the earlier hunters that they had acquaintances with and stuff. But something Cecil actually brought to my attention, CP, that I wasn't aware of, and I'm not sure if you're a big fan of this series or not, but
of course not. Look at him.
I'm pleading the fifth on this one.
That's fine.
CP, can you raise your volume, by the way? I have you all the way turned up, but you're still a little low for me.
Okay. Give me a second. Go ahead.
Cool. The thing that I heard about this is, so there's been reactions both ways. There's been people saying, yes, more Supernatural, that's exciting, and yes, John Winchester, especially if you get Jeffrey Dean Morgan back to do that in some way, shape, or form, even though he's much older now, they'd be happy about it. However, there is a contingent of fans that are not happy about this possible prequel storyline because it's focusing on what they call the Winchester brothers' abuser. So their dad was not the nicest dad. He would abandon them for long periods of time, and he wasn't necessarily physically abusive or anything like that, but he wasn't necessarily the best dad either. Yeah, and so a whole contingent of the internet has risen up saying that, no, I don't want a whole TV series based on the abuser that even accidentally forced his 2 sons into having this lifestyle for the 15 years that we saw in the previous series. So there's a lot of, really sensitive stuff going on regarding that, and it's a little surprising for me, and yet at the same time, in today's internet age, not surprising at all. So I don't know, Fuego, what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Yeah, I'm excited about it to a degree, but it still feels like they are just really trying to take as much out of this series when the two lead actors, in Jensen and Jared wanted to move on to other projects, and they both moved on to prominent projects. Jensen is doing the 3rd season of The Boys, and Jared Padalecki, as I always
Jared
forget.
Padalecki?
Yeah,
Jared's in the middle of Walker.
Yeah, he's the new
Texas
Walker,
Ranger.
Texas Ranger. Yeah, he has somehow. There's nobody who could fill those shoes of. Our
well, but there's
iconic
the whole
band.
drama, right? There's the whole drama. So Jensen Ackles and his wife are the ones putting together this series.
And his wife was on Supernatural too, right? If I remember
I believe
correctly.
so. And then, so Jared tweeted yesterday saying, he tweeted at Jensen Ackles. So Jared and Jensen played the Supernatural brothers that are in the picture right above here. Jared said, dude, I'm super happy for you. I wish I didn't find out about this on Twitter. It's a shame that Sam Winchester has no input on this situation. Kind of something like that. And then 20 hours later, we got a different tweet that said, spoke with at Jensen Ackles. Everything's all good. Brothers forever. The series is still miles away, and, everything's all good now. And I think that what happened was, in that 20 hours, Jared got a call from the brass, right? Not necessarily the CW brass or whatever, but was like, yo, what are you doing here? And then he and Jensen had to talk. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my butt, but that's what happened here. So supposedly, one of the Supernatural duo was spearheading this Supernatural prequel, and then the other brother found out about it after the fact and then was then brought in on it, supposedly to all happiness and everything like that. So, I don't know. I'm excited about the series, but I don't know. What are your thoughts, Fuego? I'm going to shut this door to make sure we don't make anyone up.
This is where I want to toss it over to CP because of the fact that, even if you're not like a big fan of this series, my friend, what do you think about these sort of proverbial power struggles that happen sometimes after an IP has established itself and others want to keep it going, and then there's others who feel like they've moved on to greener pastures?
This is a tomorrow discussion, but it's all.
I know.
Fuck you! This is the show you're on right now, bitch.
I'm just saying that we specialize in finance, and this is my answer is it's just there's money to be made, and that's all that matters to the big wigs.
You're right, too.
So if they cast Vern Troyer's corpse to be somebody, they'll do it.
Okay, fair enough.
And I am vaguely familiar. Do I sound better now, by the way?
It's still a little low, but
I can
it's
hear you
workable.
pretty good,
That's so strange. I have.
I mean, you sound sexy. It's just a little low on the volume.
Hey, that's the point, baby. I have it peaked. I do have. I my ex-wife. This show's been on for what 10, 15 years.
15 years.
It was a 15-year run, before it stopped.
So my ex-wife watched it regularly. So I'm familiar with it in the background from years ago. And I think the one thing I remember is that the devil is the guy who played Jacob from Lost, and I'm a big fan of that actor.
Mark Pellegrino.
He's great.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually did a photo op with him when he was at Phoenix Comic-Con.
God damn it. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Name drop.
No, I'm jealous. I'm completely jealous.
No, he's really awesome. His Lucifer in the show is so amazing and so charismatic and so much fun to watch.
And it develops over the course. By the time he's singing, Good Morning Vietnam in like the 6th season, you're like, where in the hell is this show going with their pop culture references? But it's pretty fun.
I need to do it. I see my 2 cents of nonsense in the chat, and I just feel bad that we're not directly shouting him out. So should we all chime in with the my 2 cents of nonsense? What is it? What would you call it? Password, which is
my 2 cents of nonsense is a king shark.
Yeah, well, it's King Shark is a shark, and that's the shout out. That's the my 2 cents of nonsense shout out.
Yeah, much love to you. I'm glad he's feeling better from the food poisoning.
Yeah, hope you're doing all right, Lindsay. Not for tomorrow's sake or anything, but just hope you're doing all right. By the way, Lindsay should have a check mark by this point because.
Oh, I can fix that.
No. Check mark,
just
not
to see
wrench.
if he has one on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, because he's
Well, now he has a wrench because now he has more power than he ever wanted.
Sharks bring power.
Sharks are
all right.
birds,
So let's move on
Lindsay.
to the first
Sharks
actual
are
story, and
birds.
here's the point at which the stories are going to change their look a little bit. So bear with me, guys. So there you go. Boom. Story number 1. There is apparently an Interview with the Vampire series in the works over at AMC.
Yeah, I was going to say, Anne Rice and her son, I believe, have been pitching this and trying to get it made at a couple different networks for a while, and it finally stuck on AMC, and which seems like a formidable and proper home for this sort of IP to just re-envision itself, so to speak. The one thing that I did not mention to you in the stories, though, is that there is an interconnective witching hour, so she has a series of witch books that she got into later in her career, and that is going to be a separate series as well. I read the first 3 or 4, I think up to Devil Memnock, so maybe that was the 5th one.
Memnock, the devil.
Yeah, exactly. Tale of the Body Thief was the 4th one.
Right.
Yeah.
Memnock was the 5th, I believe.
Yeah, so I dug her approach to this, but the films were relatively stylized, and even though Queen of the Damned had a cool soundtrack that Jonathan Davison put together and brought in all these different vocalists to help assist with the songs, it was Townsend, if I remember correctly, who replaced Tom Cruise, was not as cool. But I loved the concept and the idea of a long-time vampire becoming a rock star. I thought that was pretty badass. I'm going to throw it to CP because I feel like we need to, dude. Were you familiar with these books beyond?
Wait, both of you at the same time? What was that?
Yeah, that's the thing. CP, were you familiar with the books, before the adaptations at all, or
books? No, I'm not a reader. I'm not a reader.
I always forget that, man. So
I've got a neurological issue, so reading is a bit of an issue for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Also,
man.
I'm lazy. No, it's fine. I'm just lazy too.
My sister was an Anne Rice. She read all the Vampire Lestat books.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and a lot of my friends did too.
Yeah, Brandy was insane about those books, dude.
I would like to chime in. You might want to watch Trick or Treat from the 80s. It's not a vampire.
It has Ozzy Osbourne in it. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So you're familiar? Yeah.
Of course.
He is. I haven't seen it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's almost what Fuego's asking for. It's a devil worshipping dude who happens to be a rock star.
Right.
In the 80s, in glam metal goodness.
So
unfamiliar. Sorry.
I gotta say, I'm on board for a long-form interview with the Vampire series because I really loved that first movie. The fact that it was, it was set up. It was like early, found footage almost, where it was set up, where it was you're watching the interview with Christian Slater and.
Okay, from that standpoint. Sure.
And I like that, and let's lean into that. And if it's literally the dude interviewing Lestat, sorry, I hit the mic. If it's literally the dude interviewing Lestat, and they just cut to his past adventures throughout the story, I think that's a fantastic way to approach a vampire tale. You know what I mean? Like, if it's just them sort of interacting throughout the whole season, and then you hear Lestat's tales of him and Louis and all that shit, I think it's really, quite frankly, tailor-made for TV, personally. Did you like the Anne Rice books at all? Or we only got Vampire Lestat and Queen of the Damned, technically.
Yeah.
But do you like that whole property?
I mean, I was okay with Queen of the Damned. I thought Interview with the Vampire, based on cast and just the accomplishment of filmmaking, was significantly superior. And also the fact that for Queen of the Damned, they were essentially combining the second and the third book.
Correct.
So that irritated me to a degree. Although, at this point, if anyone's going to call me out, I haven't read these books since high school. So it's been probably 20 years. But nonetheless, I felt like they gave the story a major abbreviation which with the medium of television and the just updated production values and everything they can do, I think it's a lot cooler and a better place for it to find itself. So
Sure.
I think society, and it's going to happen anyway because we're getting a new Blade relatively soon.
Yep.
I think society needs vampires to be for grown-ups again before we start doing, stuff like this. Thanks to that YA surge in the late 20-aughts. I don't even know what you call that.
The Twilightness.
Yeah. So we need some lust, some gore, some blood. Bring vampires back to that first, and then we can swing back. And that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. I think that actually makes sense. I think it makes the series poised for success because you're right. We haven't had anything that's really traditionally like Victorian romantic vampire shit for a long time. It's just
of an R-rated variety.
Well, yeah, not only that,
Right.
but anything that's not just teen drama romance that was made popular in the Twilight series that had like fucking 5 movies. You know what I mean? I think that's a very, very valid point. Absolutely.
Vampires are not about abstinence. That's the antithesis of what fucking vampires are. You idiots.
Yeah, vampires are the ultimate swingers.
Yeah,
like realistically,
it's all lust. It's just like baked into the cake pie. It's layered in there somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's enough on the vampires. Just so we say hi to some people in the chat.
Hi.
We have Ben Grimm in the chat. We have Savannah, Christina Heffron in the chat. Sandy Hook shooting was fake. Okay, all right. I'm not sure about that one, but. I appreciate the comment. Good Lord, that name.
I love Michael M with the making vampires great again, and he's like,
My 2 cents of nonsense preach. We have Ms. Morning 79 and Toronto Freddy here. What's up, everyone? Good to see everyone. So, I got to dance around that one username, but let's switch to the next story, which is that
Cecil.
Yeah.
Cecil.
Yeah.
That pop filter. Put it in front of the mic, please.
What? We're not that close that we need the fucking P on there, buddy.
But you hit it before.
Yeah, I know it kind of blocks stuff a little bit, but even when I'm recording vocals with my band, we always have it in front. So.
I'm just saying, we're not close enough to have it really matter.
Well,
it still helps, though.
You handlebarred it before, and if that were there before, you wouldn't have had a poof moment. So it's like leaving a spare tire in the garage for a long trip. You can have that one for. I'm not drinking, so I don't know how the fuck.
Osmosis or something.
I was going to say, since we did not do our proper news with booze.
That's true. Yeah. Hey, welcome to the Horror Show News. With booze. Yeah,
with booze.
And a straight guy.
I'm on narcotics.
All the better.
I think that's a little stronger, to be fair.
No mercy. Andrew Mercer in the chat. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Man.
All right, so the news story is that Scarlett Johansson is set to star in and produce a big screen adaptation of The Tower of Terror.
Yeah. And this is one I want to throw right to CP, and I was actually saving it for show business this week, so maybe we just abbreviate this shit. But
Fuck you! You're on a show right now.
No,
you don't abbreviate shit. You don't save your shit for tomorrow. You talk about it with the fucking 34 people that are watching right now.
Yeah,
the first time I saw this story, dude,
and regurgitate it for the 50 tomorrow. That's
exactly.
But see,
oh, 50. Yeah, some
it's
big
never
goals
50.
there, buddy.
It's never 50.
When
I have
first
to say,
saw this
like
story
Toronto.
announced, CP, I was just like, why are we still turning Disney rides into movies? I mean, I know that everybody was pleasantly surprised after Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't know who the hell is excited about Jungle Cruise. And the fact that we are doing this now, and that Scarlett is on as a producer as well, why? I don't...
Exactly. That, and I don't know if anybody's been looking at their dailies as far as Spiral is concerned, but that was a passion project by an actor who said, I have a great idea for something. Chris Rock said, I'll produce it and be in it, and it's going to be great. Terrible. Scarlett Johansson, on the other hand, is somebody who's just like a minefield when it comes to stuff in Hollywood. So, is the ride that impressive?
The ride was fun. I rode it once with a family member that, you know, and it. I mean, movie worthy? Fuck no.
I actually never rode it.
Of the rides at the park, I suppose it had the most possibility to build a movie around it.
But they're also doing the Haunted Mansion as a new movie too. So they already
we
already
saw how they could fuck that up. So it's just a matter of them not fucking it up this time.
Just remake Haunting. Just do that.
Why? They've already done that a billion times.
Well, they have no ideas. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it is a theme, everybody. On most Mondays, we do show business and to get the crew together and get to discuss.
Okay, all right. It's not show business. It's Sunday. We're in the news. Let's focus on the show at hand, y'all.
We're pissing Cecil off. We're here to talk horror, but if you don't want to talk horror all the time, tomorrow night on my channel we talk about all
the horror, the non-horror show news is happening over on CP's channel every Monday.
Yeah.
No, but this is one that I have to at least say once again. I have to reiterate. I'm thinking why. Like, it's just IP grasping, trying to look for something people are familiar with. So
Sure. I mean, you know, expected.
Maybe it's I'm sorry because they took so long with I'm a superhero. What the hell is her name?
Black Widow. Yeah.
Black Widow. Yeah,
I'm a superhero.
Yeah, it's almost like a.
That's her superhero name. I'm a superhero.
Yeah. Look, I'm in leather. Cool.
Yeah, it's like a consolidation.
I can grab onto a building as I'm falling. Hey.
What was that, Fuego?
Oh, it's like, hey, here's your 4th place prize in the trilogy. It's buzzing. Yeah,
sure.
So.
Yeah.
All right, so yes, the Tower of Terror. Apparently, not everyone is excited about it, but I don't know. When it comes out, we'll see what happens.
I mean, the first Pirates of the Caribbean surprised me. I thought it was going to be trash, and I had a lot of fun with that.
I enjoyed the Pirates movies.
So,
yeah,
that's a good point. Also, with recent news, they might want to scrap that.
Now, the newest version of it.
Oh, what happened in Florida? I don't know if we want to talk about.
What happened in Florida?
Jeez, with the building collapse.
Fell apart.
Oh, yeah. How many people died in there?
Well, there's 9 confirmed, but CP, it's like 150?
100 plus missing.
Unaccounted
Jesus,
for.
when I saw the news story, it was like 10. They were at 10.
Yeah, they said missing. Those people are dead.
Missing because they can't find them because they're
they're all buried under fucking 10 stories of rubble.
12.
Oof. Yeah. Sorry, forgive me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it.
Oh no, it's valid.
No, I'm really glad we brought the horror show down with this. It's fantastic. Thanks. Let's make sure we bring it up during show business tomorrow too. Yeah. Let's handicap both shows, shall we?
This guy CP,
Jesus
I'm telling
Christ. You. All right. Well, moving on to the third story. After we're talking about fucking human death. So we're talking about Paramount apparently sets a Quiet Place spin-off to come out in 2023. Now, this is the only thing that I gleaned from the story, not to step on your dick here, Fuego, but the only thing that I gleaned from the story is that this was based on an idea that John Krasinski had while making the second movie.
And then he pitched it to Jeff Nichols, and I'm a big fan of Jeff Nichols. Midnight Special, I believe, was the film that he did with Michael Shannon and the kid. That was really, really good. So, an incredibly capable younger director, and this is not a true third film. Sorry, just like hearing myself in this like reverberation is tripping me out. But he is a very capable person to expand upon this universe, and I guess at this point, and CP and I will totally talk about this with whoever is available tomorrow night, but
please stop plugging tomorrow night.
Jesus fucking Christ, Fuego.
Really punch you.
Focus on the channel you're on, please.
Okay, we have talked on previous previous episodes of
what? Show business?
Yeah. And I will, and this will be the last time, but anytime we have talked about, we have had the opportunity to talk about the box office kind of seeing a resurgence recently.
Sure.
And obviously, with the fast stuff, we have stuff to talk about this week, if so. But the second film to surpass $100 million in this pandemic sort of recovery situation was A Quiet Place Part 2. And so people are fervent and very ready to see more within this universe, whether it's these characters that they are acquainted with, or if it's just more side spin-off sort of stuff. It's happened with The Walking Dead. It's a very sort of similar situation. It's just alien invasion and quietness instead of zombies. And so with Nichols being a director that I am impressed with, and the severance that they're trying to give all of this stuff, and there is still a third Quiet Place they're working on too, a third official sequel, with his wife coming back and everything.
Oh, really?
Emily Blunt. So, they are just going all out with this series. Don't be surprised if it doesn't become the next Fast and the Furious.
It's not going to be that bad.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I know. I'm just
Paramount
kidding.
needs something to hang their hat on,
and it's the same studio, and so that's why I mentioned it. And I don't think this is a bad idea at all, with a capable director and a solid idea. And the fact that I love alien stuff and I love this world and this mythology that they have constructed. Let's toss it to our guest. What do you think, good sir?
Well, I had an opinion, but sure, CP, go ahead.
He's our guest, though.
I know, I'm just fucking around.
All right. Should we take another shot and relax a little bit?
I maybe I need one. I don't know. No, go ahead, CP, please.
I'll have some Xanax sent to you. We'll be good.
You got some crushed up Xanax you can
It's
take care of real quick?
Jesus Christ, man, it works in 10 minutes. What do you need to crush it for?
I know we'll talk about it
I can't wait. Just crush it.
I need it now. Woo! All right, no, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Right. So, I think Paramount's getting a little. It's like Fuego said. Quiet Place 2 was the first movie that movie theaters were like, see, we can do business, and they did. They, being A Quiet Place, have done something that not even Tenet did. And Chris Nolan, with his, speaking of big dicks, he thought he could bring the movie theater industry back with Tenet last summer, and didn't. So maybe Paramount, they might have a little.
By the
bit
way,
of,
you found the best price for Tenet on the internet. Did I not? Am I wrong? Right? You found it on like Redbox for like $3.
I bought that Blu-ray at Redbox for $1.99.
To own?
To own at Redbox, $1.99.
$1.99.
Shit.
I'm like, okay, lead me to the Redbox. I'm gonna go buy myself a fucking Blu-ray right
There's
now.
no case or anything.
I don't give a shit. I have The Quiet Man or whatever the hell that one movie was that Chris Stuckman put on everyone's fucking radar. I have that over there. That only cost me $3. I'll pay $3 for a goddamn Blu-ray
half
of
the price of A Quiet Man. What the fuck?
Dude, I'll buy that shit. Like, I don't need a full Blu-ray presentation. Just give me the movie for $3. I'm happy.
I need coasters anyway, so I'll just have a bunch of Tenet coasters.
So yeah, you can expect me to have that in my possession in the very near future.
Yeah, if it's not a movie you love and you just want the rewatchability potentially, I think that's fine.
There's special features too, like director's commentary is always fun. You don't need a case for that.
Yeah, true.
Cecil.
Yes.
Your show.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to take back over? Thank you. So just to shout out a few people in the chat, we have Jake Slider, and I think that's how you'd say it. Toronto, I disagree. Just having some good commentary with some people. We have Unco Wesker. I like that it's Unco instead of Uncle Wesker. Unco Wesker, what up, boys? What up? We have Sky. CP is an unfortunate name. Jesus.
They're my initials. Charles Patterson.
Then we have Meow, Woof, Moo. Okay. All right. Well, we're having fun in the chat. Yeah. So let's move on to the next story. Story number 4, which is going to be Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Rob Zombie confirms that his next story, the next thing that he's going to ruin is the Munsters.
It's been rumored for a while, and we actually mentioned it very briefly on Show Business,
Sure.
I think. No, it's a running joke at this point, CP. I'm sorry, I will refrain. But yeah, this is one where like the biggest thing for me to all of you horror show peeps is like, what is the tone going to be like? Is he going to R-rate this, or is he going to take a significant step back, make it a PG-13 sort of like kooky, lovable sort of situation? Initially, I was thinking that it was going to be the former, but now I'm kind of more so thinking the latter. I think he's gonna restrain. He's gonna. He's not
gonna make them. He's not gonna make them the fucking trailer park monsters.
Not at all. It's gonna be the visual aesthetic.
He's what, CP?
He's done nothing else though. Like, what has he done that has shown you that he can do, anything but Southern fried motherfucker?
I think it's going to be Southern fried motherfucker from a visual standpoint.
I mean, it's a good point. He's got a good point.
But it's
not a lot to point at.
But I mean, from a visual
Southern
standpoint,
fried motherfucker part 3.
But I think even he knows at this point that that's not going to work for the Munsters. That's not what the Munsters was built on.
Mm-hmm.
I think he actually respects the Munsters. I think personally, if I was going to say one sentence worth of thought on this, I think Rob Zombie respects the Munsters enough to not Rob Zombify the Munsters.
Okay.
Did he respect Halloween?
I don't know that he cared about Halloween enough to not Rob Zombify Halloween.
It was an R-rated franchise too, which I think is a little bit different than something
look,
that was
he did do Halloween
on TV.
again. He just did it in half the time in the back half of his movie.
Yeah, after his I'll skull fuck the shit out of you, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still wonder and worry, like if they go with what CP and a lot of other people, because I've seen various other friends on the internet, they're just like, don't let Rob Zombie NC-17 the Munsters, because that would be just horrible. There is, dare I say, a wholesomeness to the Munsters and the Addams Family and that sort of horror. It was like very easily accessible and family friendly, and I hope.
Well, what's the dollars to donuts bet that his wife is going to be Lily Munster?
Oh fuck!
Yeah, I would say that.
No take on that.
Yeah,
that's a guaranteed.
If there's a Vegas bet in there, like there is no question whatsoever.
-20,000.
If it ends up not being her, y'all lose. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, probably why he wanted the project too was because he's just like, I know exactly who I'm going to put in this role. But I mean, I think
she's about the right age for Lily at this point.
I always thought she was a babe until when I saw her on like the record covers and stuff, sexy swinging styles for White Zombie, and then when she started acting, I mean, aside from, I love Lords of Salem. I have talked a lot about that movie. I am an apologist for that film, but yeah.
Look, as long as we see Spot as an actual dragon under the stairs, I'm happy. I don't care when it happens. I actually liked the Munsters reboot that they did
in the 90s.
Yeah,
Fox?
no, not the 90s. They did it in the late 2000s, where they had a Munsters reboot where the dragon Spot was actually in the basement, and like I liked that live action reboot they had. They only had like a few episodes of it, but I enjoyed it. And so if Rob Zombie can actually stick to the spirit of the Munsters but just update it without making it the trailer park Munsters, then I think it's very something that's going to be worth looking at.
He's just been in this neighborhood. He's in this small little neighborhood that he's comfortable. Like if I were to tell you that Wes Anderson's going to make a wacky comedy, would you?
I'll tell you. I'll skip it.
Yeah,
because I don't like fucking Wes Anderson.
I love
Wes
Anderson.
He's got a very specific style. They all look the same.
Fucking, if Wes Anderson made an A24 movie, Fuego would cream himself to the point of dying.
Well, his stuff, Wes's stuff is on the same lines. Like to go with what CP was saying, if Wes Anderson was suddenly making a big budget action movie, you would scratch your head and say, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. He's got a comfortable spot and he's not leaving it. Rob Zombie is very similar in the horror sense. So, the Munsters isn't something that you would want him to leave that area for, because we have no I mean, I think he's directed some of his music videos, but still same premise. So I'm sorry, Rob. Until you grab another major franchise, I want to see something from you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, there's speculation that there's going to be some sort of expansion on 31 with the Death Head character.
Oh, well, I don't want that in this movie. Like, that is no place.
We'll see if it happens. Well, no, obviously not in the Munsters movie. But
okay, but
got a great idea. Let's dress a little man like Hitler.
Yeah.
Hysterical.
I did not like 31 at all. I was not.
The opening, I thought, you know what? It finally did it. And then 10 minutes passed, and I was like, nope, it's still Rob Zombie.
It's still Rob Zombie, yeah. No, 31 was a very limited, appreciable sort of movie.
The big thing that I will say, though, is if somehow Rob Zombie can show restraint, because I think from a visualistic standpoint, he can accomplish this. It's from a tone standpoint that I don't really have very much faith, because he would have to show so much
one shade of the talent that's missing,
so much restraint. Have somebody else write the script, and also how he would direct his actors and stuff, like, because he loves that sleaze CP was talking about. Because there's an essence of class and just love about that family. So that's
excuse me, sweetheart. I don't think you got that cunt just right. If you wouldn't mind saying that just one more time with a little more stank on it, give me a real cut.
Yeah. Cut. The line is fuck, motherfuck, fuck.
Yeah.
You got it?
Are we in a Kevin Smith movie all of a sudden? Because I
was going to say, it's either...
motherfuck, fuck, noise.
Yeah, because I was going to say, it's Rob Zombie, Tarantino, or, Kevin Smith, because the
it's all about the
provenance of F-bombs.
Tarantino borrows from, like a Tarantino movie when you watch it, but he borrows from other genres and still makes it his own.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie isn't borrowing shit. He's just showing you this is the 70s in the South, even though I lived in New York in the 70s. What the fuck?
Good point, dude. I always forget that, even before the rising of White Zombie and they got prominent with La Sexorcito, I think was the album, that really got them going. And then... Yeah, anyway.
Thunder 65 and all that jazz, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they were more garage, metal.
Dude, I got into him around Idle Hands when it was dig through the trenches that burn through the witches is slammed in the back of my Dracula.
That was after he went solo, because White Zombie.
Look, that's where I caught onto him.
Band,
I don't care when it was. I'm just telling you when I caught the zombie bug.
Do you guys all realize that we're trying to talk about the Munsters and what we're actually focusing on is a musician?
Yeah.
Well, look, they're inextricably linked at this point.
No.
No. Yes, CP. Yes.
No.
They are not. But which
Eilish wants to make a new Friday the 13th movie, so let's just do it. Fuck it.
What do you want from me, Friday the 13th?
I just want to ask the chat really quickly, and obviously both of you guys as well. Were you more Munsters or Addams Family, as far as the original two series, not the IPs as a whole?
Yeah, I think I'd say
remakes,
Munsters.
Barry and whatnot, doing those great Addams.
I think
Family
I'd say
films,
Munsters over the Addams
You're not
Family.
replacing Fred Gwynn either, too, by the way. So just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, good call.
Wait. All right, so let's move on to the next one.
And this one will be relatively short.
This will be pretty quick.
I don't think a lot of people actually saw this film.
Hang on, I gotta get to the right thing. I almost popped the wrong.
Is it Spiral, the Book of Souls?
No. Apparently, Gerard Butler is back on board to reprise his disaster movie role in the sequel, Greenland Migration.
What?
So the thing is, Greenland is actually
it's pretty good.
Probably the best disaster movie that's come out since Independence Day. If I had, and I know Independence Day is not great, but as far as entertaining disaster movies go, I think Greenland was probably really up there. Like, I got to be honest, it was not long after I had either found out that I was having a kid or that Soren was actually born when this movie came out, because there was one scene that genuinely ripped my heart out when Gerard Butler and his family are going to try and escape, right? They've been invited by the government to go to this place to, to escape the death that is coming with the asteroid. And one of the families that is friends with them that lives like right across the street, they're just like, here, just take the kid. We understand you can't take us, but just take our kid. And they're like, we literally can't, because what if we get all the way to the checkpoint and they're like, you guys can come, but she has to stay here? Then literally we have to leave your kid with no parents and no one at all. Like, and it's just the most heartbreaking thing that they just threw in the middle of this disaster movie that just really raised, the level of depth and investment that I had in the movie. And I was literally streaming tears like, you're leaving a kid behind, but I understand why, but oh my god, it's the worst. But Greenland, yeah, I gotta be honest, Greenland really hit home for me. I really dug it as a disaster movie, and if I'm not wrong, you were not far from my thinking on that fight.
Yeah, I was a big fan of it, and I felt it was especially successful because of the fact that it did not focus upon spectacle. It did not just have this, here's the insane, destruction of the world that is transpiring, or at least like on the verge of it. It focused more so on the humanistic aspect of like the early scene where Gerard Butler is having that little gathering at his home, and he's this high-profile government worker.
And the thing comes on the big TV that's like, you have been selected to go to this place, and all of his friends are like, wait, what the fuck is this?
None of them get it, and yet he's got it, and they're like, what did you get on your phone? And he's like, nothing.
It's so captivating from the very beginning.
Yeah.
CP, did you like Greenland? Did you watch Greenland?
Did. Of course, I felt like it was the most snake-bitten, inopportune release ever, because that movie, nobody wanted to watch a movie like that when it came out, because that movie's like, the world's fucked. By the way, there's a little bit of hope for some people, but not everybody. And there's nowhere to go with that movie. I'm sorry. The end is
they have to rebuild, buddy.
Yeah, all right. What are we, Prometheus? Come on, just. Oh.
Yeah,
but
like
to counter what Fuego was saying, I don't know. There was like 70 asteroids that crashed into the Earth, like 5 planes exploding. There's a lot.
I was trying to remember the extent of the destruction, because the humanistic, like the way they were all dealing with it was what I remembered. So.
Yeah, the heart is heavier than the wow factor, but there's a lot of action movie candy. It's just if you were to make a terrorism movie on September 10th, you'd
it'd be rough.
You'd have a hard time selling tickets.
Fair enough.
You're right.
All right, so moving on to the next story, which is story number 6, that Dion Taylor is set to direct MGM's reboot of the original Blacula, which is, of course, a blaxploitation film that was meant to really show the silliness and craziness of films at the time, where they wanted to have black actors really leading the way and showing that they could do anything anyone else could do and have fun. And Blacula was really one of those films. I've never actually seen the film, but I know that's what it was. So I'm interested in this project. I would watch a new Blacula.
That's where we're a little remiss to discuss this.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, you can be racist if you want. I'm willing to watch it.
No. I mean, Vampire in Brooklyn is great.
I love
Eddie
that
Murphy
movie.
And John
Underrated Eddie Murphy.
Or was it Wes Craven? I'm trying to remember. Was it Craven or Carpenter? Because I know one of those guys directed Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Very fun movie. Obviously deriving a lot of inspiration from the camp and the modernization of the blaxploitation. But Dion, I'm trying to remember the name of the director, Dion Taylor. I've actually seen a lot of what this person has done, And this dude has directed very serious stuff like The Intruder, which I talked about earlier,
Sure.
which is where it's a black family that moves
boy.
in, and Dennis Quaid is crazy. And then he also
CP
did
apparently has an
and
opinion.
then he also did Fatale CP. If you saw that one, where
I did not.
What is the the name of the white actress is totally eluding me, unfortunately. Hilary Swank is like, she hooks up with this black dude and then starts stalking him afterwards.
Oh, no.
And he's
my mind has been changed. I'm not interested.
But then interestingly enough, to properly access the camp aspect, Dion has also directed both of those kind of spiritual sequels to Scary Movie, which were Meet the Blacks. This guy also directed both of those, so he has tackled really dramatic kind of black ensemble sort of work, but then he's also done comedy, and I kind of think he is a good choice because he has that versatility to go into comedic, and that's where I'm really just curious where the tone of this is going to find itself, and this is where. I don't want to just be like, I want to talk to my black friend Chauncey who loves horror and see, if she's available tomorrow, dude. I'm not gonna drop. I'm not gonna name drop again.
It's hard though. Like, how do we like? We don't have the right perspective to talk about. Yeah, but the intruder, and something that I really hope we touch on in a little bit. We're Hollywood's trying to exploit something, and it's really distasteful and ugly, and I hope this isn't part of that little basket of garbage.
So I think that's a good segue into the trailer thing about Karen that we had said we were gonna, after we got through a few stories.
Okay,
maybe,
sure.
We would,
Go for it.
I think this is a very pertinent segue.
Go ahead. Yeah, I don't have a graphic set up for it, so go ahead and talk about it, though, because, we actually did finally just watch the trailer for Karen as a part of our trailer reaction that I'll be presenting in the next couple of days. But, we finally gave it a try, so Fuego, please lead us off there.
Well, I mean, I will do my best without a graphic, but what
do you want me to do? I didn't know we were going to be talking about it, so there's no goddamn graphic.
No, I mean, you had said we were going to intersperse some trailer.
I found that out late last night.
So there is a new film that is coming out that is produced by the BET channel, and it is essentially for me. I always CP was under the understanding that a Karen was just a bitchy white woman. An entitled white woman. I didn't know that there was a racial component.
It doesn't necessarily need
to the situation.
They're white women, but it doesn't necessarily need to be racially motivated.
But it's incorporated into this film
story,
that we watched
obviously,
the trailer.
So modern, recent history has shown that women filming black people at a barbecue, or women calling police and filming black people doing nothing at a park, have been labeled Karens because they're just bothered that there's black people in their area.
The thing that they specifically seem to be referring to is the situation where the girl was walking her dog not on a leash, and a black bird watcher asked her to please put the dog on the leash. She freaked out, called the cops, and actually acted like she was actively being assaulted by someone on the phone. And she ended up facing she lost her job. I don't know if she actually faced jail time, but she did face repercussions for calling this false situation. But I feel like, yes, that is what is being focused on in the Karen movie, those kinds of situations.
Okay. This is where Hollywood has its head so far up its own ass. The entire country is not like Los Angeles. Not that many people are concerned with shit like this and are wanting to see movies about shit that we see in the news and have it be so goddamn on the fucking knows. Like you brought up the Quaid movie before, the Intruder. The guy wore a fucking red hat, for fuck's sake, and had a big deal about black people living in his house. If that's not a metaphor for America, I don't know what the fuck is. How many times you're gonna make this movie? Enough already. People don't want to see this shit. Make Back to the Future 4. Fuck it.
Oops. I fucked up the thing. Hang on.
Well, as Cecil messes with the graphic,
there we go. Got it. Fixed it. It's good.
Well, I mean, I am gonna just chime in and agree, to a degree that I almost feel like seeing films like this reinforces hatred from both sides of the presumed aggravation and just tension that we see as a narrative within this. And so we're trying our damnedest to move away from this stuff. And I said that when I was a kid, I felt like we had taken so many steps forward, and then there were steps taken back, and then we moved a little bit forward when we got into the 2000s and whatnot, but then we've taken more steps back now as far as this sort of tension and aggression and nastiness. And works of art like this and the aforementioned Intruder, I think, just put people more at odds with each other and more inclined, even if there isn't necessarily a really serious conflict. They were like, oh, I just watched that movie the other day. So even from a white person or a black person's perspective, they're maybe more inclined to get tense and have something serious happen with each other.
First of all, I'm going to say we're about due for a Falling Down remake. It needs to be modernized.
That movie's so fucking good.
Maybe my favorite Michael Douglas performance ever.
I would go with The Game ahead of Falling Down, but Falling Down is very close behind it.
Such an underrated Fincher, man.
America basically is Falling Down times 10, so might as well just, if you want to remake movies, just remake Falling Down. But Hollywood has lost the prize here. You can do the right thing, have the same message come across, tell a great story, not have people pissed off, but understand the other perspective, and that's the problem here. Of course, white people who feel a certain way are going to go, if they go into a movie like Karen, their minds aren't going to be changed. Black people who feel a certain way about white people go into a movie like Karen, their minds are not going to be changed. It's just echo chamber fucking, here you go, here's an hour and a half of shit, thanks for the money, see you in a year when we exploit the next big thing that you idiots are fighting about. Sorry.
No, you're not wrong, dude.
No, he's so right, dude, because it's something we've talked about, CP and I. It pours fuel on the proverbial fire. It really does, and just gets people more stirred up when they're already stirred up about so many other aspects of life. It was this perfect storm in the last couple of years. So
that's what I'm saying. It's like never-ending story. Like give me something fluffy already.
I love the never-ending story.
That's why I love fantasy. I love escape.
Artax!
All right. I go to the theater to escape the craziness of my modern reality.
Exactly, man. What the fuck? And are we talking about other trailers too? Because
we can. Yeah. I'm just preparing for story number 7. So, look, I was just saying we talked a little bit about maybe we can just every few stories we can hit another trailer.
I just want to put a pin in this because there is a trailer that was released that showed a better way to do some version of what this story is trying to be.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So we'll talk about that in a minute then. So story number 7, Fuego. Since I've been jumping all over your dick on the stories, why don't you let everyone know what story number 7 is?
Story number 7 is the fact that we are finally getting a remake of Christine. It's a Stephen King, novel from 1983 that he was at the pinnacle of his popularity at this particular point. And so I believe the book came out the same year that the film came out, if I remember correctly. So that means that a manuscript for somebody to base a actual screenplay off of was probably handed off even before the film was ready to go. So it was full force King. I enjoy aspects of the Carpenter film, most notably the script. screenplay, and some of the shot selections, where the car is smashed and regenerating because he filmed stuff, and then in the actual presentation process showed it in reverse so that the car looked like it was regenerating. That stuff is really dope. But everything with Arnie and his friend, and the fact that they changed it more so from a ghost sort of situation into a possessed car, I didn't like very much of that. I think this is one of the few King properties that has already been adapted. I'd still prefer Revival or Doomickey, but nonetheless, it's one of those few properties that I feel like could see a different sort of situation with a remake. I don't know if it's going to be another muscle car kind of situation. I don't know what the laughter is about.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the comments. Yeah. CP made someone laugh. But
you
had a funny setup, and it's making me laugh.
I'm a comedian. What do you want?
Yes, you are. And yet it's one that I'm okay with, because especially okay with, to double down because of the fact that Brian Fuller is doing it. And, Brian Fuller actually previously adapted Carrie for NBC, and I thought it was way better than the one with Chloe Grace Moretz that they did a number of years later. And then, albeit it was a little bit toned down.
I like that movie.
I thought it was good.
It just got a little over the top. I liked when she was like floating over the crowd and she was like, that kind of thing. But
yeah, Carrie is not my favorite Stephen King property, to be fair, by a long shot. But Fuller has a great track record with Hannibal, and the fact that he also did Heroes, and he did some Star Trek stuff that I really enjoyed. So he is incredibly talented and capable, and I feel like he does concentrate on character development, which is really important in a story like this, because the friendship amongst our two, and how their friendship kind of splinters away because of this girl, is a big thing in I
didn't think I spelled Christine correctly.
In Christine. So I don't know. What does everybody in the comments think about?
I'm gonna jump in and say I'm excited about this because I loved Hannibal. I know the kind of work that Brian Fuller can do when it's a character or when it's a property that he cares about, and I didn't even know that Brian Fuller was gay until way after the series was done for Hannibal.
Why is that necessary? Like, why does that matter?
But a lot of people bring it up, and the reason I do is because the thing that I find funny is that everyone brings it up, and yet it didn't affect my appreciation of Hannibal or anything like that at all. So it's, granted, I'm being a bit of a dick by pointing it out, like for no reason necessarily, except for the fact that he's a creator that is gay, that gets celebrated, that not enough people necessarily know, I guess. I appreciate the work that he does, and I think that it's
there's a,
I don't know, it's a weird, I don't know, you're right, I fell into a bit of a trap.
Hold on, there's a brilliant interview where somebody asks Tom Hardy how he feels about, because he played a homosexual man in I forgot the film, but it was at a press briefing, and they asked him how he feels about sexuality and things like that, and Tom Hardy's like, "What are you on about?" And
what does it matter?
Yeah, and it's a 1 minute clip, and it perfectly encapsulates everything. Like, what the fuck does it have anything?
So
to do
the
with
only
story?
reason I bring it up, though,
I'm not trying to shit
No,
on
I know,
them.
but the only reason I bring it up is because of the viewpoint.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
It's a different viewpoint than we normally get in the spectrum of projects that are thrown our way. I didn't realize, and the reason that I bring it up is because I didn't realize that it was such a different viewpoint when I was watching and loving Hannibal. So I feel like, maybe there's something to the fact that he's gay and he brings a viewpoint to certain properties that I would never have thought to even look at, and it elevates the projects that I've seen him work on. So I don't know. I just pointed out because I find it interesting for myself that I don't know. I've dug myself a hole here.
No, you haven't dug yourself a hole.
No, you did. If I had kept my mouth shut, it wouldn't have been a thing. But
it's an interesting topic to discuss, and I don't want to come off as as hateful by any stretch, and
No,
I don't
no,
think that
I'm not-
but
I'm just fascinated.
I just think it's a different perspective, and I think that it can help for certain storytelling.
Okay.
Representation is certainly a huge plus. I mean, that appears to be a big thing that a lot of people are fighting for. So it would be nice if we could all just make movies and worry about the stories and not have to worry about who's being represented and just that's great. Oh, that's crazy. That person is this. Cool. Good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but that's
realistically, it shouldn't even matter, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter, and yet to give a counterbalance, I mean, we are in the midst of Pride Month, and shout out to all of my LGBT friends and stuff. Hell to the fucking yeah! I love you guys and gals and everything in between, whatever you want to identify as. But there is a essence of. This needs to be identified as a queer film as opposed to just letting the subtext speak for itself and stuff. And I know that there's two sides to that argument and to that perception. And, Fuller, very much like the guy from American Horror Story, whose name is eluding me.
Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, exactly. Him and Murphy are two of the most prolific gay men creating within horror and just genre
100%.
Content in the last couple decades, and so
And they've been killing it.
Yeah,
and they're doing Christine.
Fuller
is doing Christine. Ryan Murphy is doing American Horror Stories and the other. He's doing two different American Horror Story series this year.
Yeah,
American Horror Story's got a bunch of homosexual.
They're literally doing two different series though. There's the new American Horror Story series, and then American Horror Stories, which is an anthological. Every episode is a different story, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess my question is, what does Christine need any sort of sexuality introduced into it?
I don't know that it does. I just know that Brian Fuller carries with him a certain pedigree of quality. And the fact that the property of Christine is not getting the B-movie treatment, it's getting Brian Fuller. You know what I mean? I think what we're trying to say is that this property that might otherwise have just been a B-movie property is getting the treatment of an A-tier series with Brian Fuller taking control of it. I think that's worth pointing out, personally.
I see. When I heard the Christine idea, I thought, you know what? Cars are driving themselves now, so it's a hell of an idea to exploit the whole. How much advancement cars are getting, but okay.
Well, look, I mean, who's to say
curious.
that this version of Christine doesn't have an aspect of, I don't know the actual clinical term, but the thing where people fall in love with objects, right? Maybe there's someone that actually falls in love with Christine.
Sure. Oh, that is present in the movie in '82. Sure.
So,
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's something like that.
Although, with Fuller being behind it, and there is a possibility that there could be some queer undertones of, Arnie's friendship with our main character and stuff, and that there is a girl that comes between them, but maybe it's more so about their affinity for each other. It's subtext that has been explored in horror quite a bit, and lots of other stuff. So the name of the other character is eluding me, unfortunately. And I would not be opposed to, something like that. I mean, everybody's saying Luca has major gay undertones right now.
I have heard that. I really enjoyed Luca, and I could see that, but I don't think it's anything that they leaned on by any stretch.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next story. We've been talking about this one for a little while here. So next up is that there is an official fourth entry in the VHS horror anthology series coming called VHS 94.
And this is where I'm going to have to lean more heavily on you because I think I've watched some of the first ones.
I've seen all of them. I think the only one that's really worth your time is the very first VHS. There's a couple of stories that are fun to watch in the later entries, but nothing is really on the whole as worth it as the first movie. There have been 3 VHS horror anthologies up to this point. VHS 94 would be the fourth in said installment, but one of the VHS movies was the origin for the movie that became Siren a couple of years later.
Yeah.
So there was an entire horror movie that was built on one of the short films from an early VHS movie that was about the girl that, was a siren.
And she is like drunken and taken by these guys back to their hotel room, and a sleazeball revenge sort of situation. So.
Indeed. Easy. David Gomez asked, what's the best anthology movie for you guys? For me, it's Trick or Treat, bar none. There's not been an anthology movie that has touched the actual structure of Trick or Treat. No one has touched it.
That sequel? Fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
Stop making Godzilla movies.
I mean,
I love Trick or Treat, and I think Christmas
really
Horror Story is
Creepshow.
probably the second best for Christmas anthology.
I love Creepshow as an earlier one, and
Horror holiday anthology. I should say.
Horror holiday anthology.
Yeah.
And
Southbound
is a really good modern one. Southbound
There's
is
so
really
many
good.
subgenres in the horror genre. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you're
I'm not familiar
not
with
that
this
familiar
franchise.
with the VHS series. I've watched them all. I think there was one of the stories in the third VHS movie was worth your time. Otherwise, it was pretty much a waste of time.
Yeah, I know that it was produced and just basically put out by Bloody Disgusting and Brad Miska and like the entire team there in Chicago. So this is their baby.
It shows.
And, they are considered by many people the modern just news source for horror, and they are who I consult first, and Daily Dead
Internet
probably second.
Fangoria.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to the next story is something that I am super, super excited about because I love this franchise, and that is that John Jarrett has officially been confirmed to be returning as Mick Taylor in Wolf Creek 3. Now, Wolf Creek, if you guys don't know, is a fantastic slasher movie series that had two movies. It's Australian-based slasher horror, which is already really good, but then they also did 2 seasons of a Wolf Creek series. The first season was about it was one girl's sort of experience going up against Mick Taylor throughout her whole life, which was interesting. And then the second season was about a group of people that got lost in the Australian wilderness and ran afoul of Mick Taylor. So Mick Taylor, to me, he's
bloodthirsty, obviously.
Dude, he's up there with Jason and Michael and those people. He doesn't hide behind a mask. He's got an actual personality. Whoa. He's like the Freddy, the Chucky, or what have you of actual human slashers that don't have any powers. I love Mick Taylor. I love John Jarrett as the character. We've reviewed movie 1, movie 2, season 1, and season 2 of the show. So the fact that we're getting an official 3rd episode in the series is super, super exciting for me. I love the Wolf Creek movies, and I love Mick Taylor as a bad guy. CP, have you seen any of Wolf Creek?
I've seen Wolf Creek 1, but people who wear masks are pretty fucking dope. I just want to say that. That's all. Also, this is available in my store.
Plug. Fuego, what do you think of the Wolf Creek stuff? Are you excited about this?
I haven't seen a single one of them, dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Fuego, at least the first one. Get
Who
on
did I
that.
review them with then, Marcia?
It was Marcia, like I just told you. Yeah, you reviewed all those with her. I'm less of a slasher person, as I've said on this channel countless times.
No. Fuego, you got to give it a shot. Give it a shot. At least give it the first act.
Wolf Creek is great.
Yeah.
Wolf Creek 2 is even crazier, to be honest with you.
Although I like the approach that Aussies take with this sort of horror. I think that
you'd really like Wolf Creek,
distinctive sort of style in what they do with it, which I appreciate.
Oh, Jason Smith, what's up, brother?
Americans and Canadians. Jason Smith.
Feeling good about this series yet? Dude, I've been giving him shit this whole time. I'm like, how are you going to say we're going to lose when we're up 2-0 at this point? So, we've been talking. Fuego calls himself a realist. Yeah. I call myself an optimist. We're suddenly talking about the Phoenix Suns because Jason Smith from Sinister Cinema Reviews is in the chat.
You're worried? You're up 2-0.
He 3-1. We're up 3-1, and he's still worried that we're going to lose the whole series. It's crazy.
You're good.
Nonetheless, all right. Let's move on.
I'm not going to get into it. I'm sorry. I've complained enough about it.
All right, we'll move on to story number 10, which is that a woman named Natasha Kermani is directing the adaptation of Joe Hill's Dracula spin-off called Abraham's Boys. Now, that's as much as I know. So, Fuego, you jump in on this one, please.
And so this is where I just want to jump really briefly into what she has done before.
Okay.
Because of the fact that... So this was a short story, everybody, that Joe Hill... He had it separately published. And Joe Hill, in case you don't know, is the son of the king and has done just an immense amount of terrific stuff. I mean, Lock and Key has become a thing. Nosferatu. So this is essentially, basically, think of Van Helsing post Dracula, and if he had some sons, and they are very curious about the work that he is still potentially doing and what it could entail. Okay. So the way that the story is constructed is fascinating because it's not really action or super horror centric. It's more so just like the suppositions and the wonderances of his kids, like, what does our father really do? And so that's where, I mean, being the son of a horror master and having that sort of growing up, I don't think anybody besides somebody who was the progeny of somebody like Stephen King could actually come up with something like this. But yes, based on his short story via Deadline. I'm just trying to get the name of the person who was actually producing it and putting it together. Oh, were you laughing
Sorry,
about
Michael
that fact?
M. Not sure what this emoji is, and it looks like two people kissing, and I don't have any idea who these two people are, but okay.
So there was an indie film called Lucky that was directed by filmmaker Natasha Kermani, and she...
Boy, you're really putting some stank on that name.
Oh, of course I am.
Natasha Kermani.
Yeah, but yes, she is, if I'm not mistaken, a foreign filmmaker who... this film, Lucky... It's on Shudder currently, and it's about a woman who is being continually tormented by a home invader over and over and over. Chauncey talked about it on a show that I'm not going to remind everybody about on Monday evenings. But
oh Christ, Jesus!
No.
You want to just put a link to the Monday show in the fucking comments?
We didn't get to do it this past week, so. But it had kind of a Groundhog Day instance to it in the fact that she is reliving things. It was stylistically very impressive, and I believe it was a directorial debut. But as this is a direct Dracula sequel, essentially, but from the perspective of Van Helsing. And so for that reason, I was talking in the Hail to Stephen King Facebook group, and I was just like, of course, as far as all of the original Joe Hill properties, this one is being adapted because it's linked to such a big, recognizable sort of thing. I don't know. What do you guys think, I guess, about continuing the story of Van Helsing after presumably vanquishing and then, kind of hiding his real work from his children?
Look, I in Joe Hill I trust, so I think that there's got to be story there, so I'm about it.
Yeah.
Juggler Assassin asks, is Hail to Stephen King is still a thing? Yeah, every single Tuesday.
Just last Tuesday.
Literally every single Tuesday, the Hail to Stephen King episodes still come out. So
yeah, I covered a bunch of the, actually the first 3 Dollar Babies I covered extensively.
Someone said you should have put it in the title. On
the previous episode. Well,
someone said you should put the fact that you actually get to see the Dollar Babies in the title, which makes sense.
That's when I have so many different things in the title, and I've got 200 characters, and I'm trying to. Yeah,
it's so hard. I know.
Well, I mean, because I still have to fit in the horror show. And I still have
you
to
don't
fit
need
in
to put
Hail
the horror
to
show
Stephen
in there.
King,
They know what channel they're watching.
Yeah.
It's in the description. It's cool.
Yeah, but the interesting thing, guys, in this one is
Survivor says, if Fuego is still drawing breath, Hail will always be a thing. That's right, Sam. That's Sam Glass right there. Yeah, Sam Glass, the survivor himself, had to go into the hospital again and hope he's killing it. Yeah, he has a commentary for us. He sent us a couple of cool movies.
I saw he tagged me today. Much love, Sam.
That was, by the way, Sam, if you didn't see, go back to the beginning of the stream. I unboxed your DVDs that you sent in the mail as the what do you call it? The countdown for this particular live stream.
Wait, is he okay?
Sam? Sam gets into the hospital sometimes. Sam's fighting to stay healthy. So we always thank Sam for his contributions for sure.
You're hanging there, Sam.
All right, let's move on to the next story.
Oh wait, in this case, I just want to ask.
So we're
CP,
2/3 through the story. So if you want to hit another trailer or something, CP, why don't you go ahead and jump in?
Go ahead. Let my partner from my show that happens on Mondays ask me a question.
Oh my god.
No, I mean CP. I was just curious. I mean, are you like a big Dracula person as far as maybe the Francis Ford Coppola or any other like vampire sort of stuff? Do you think this story holds viability and interest for you?
Yeah. Again, I want somebody to make vampires R-rated and gory as shit first.
Blade reboot.
I don't care who does it. Just make vampires fucking scary and gnarly.
Oh my god.
And then
you need a red hat that says "Make vampires scary again."
Ooh.
I guess the blood would make sense. I guess the blood would make sense.
Merch.
But yeah, no. I actually enjoyed the Hugh Jackman movie, as campy as shit as that was.
Van Helsing, yeah.
That was the one with Kate Beckinsale.
I'll take it.
I agree. The silliness overrode the dumbness.
Yeah.
If that's a thing.
Yeah, it is.
No, I'm down. I mean, how many? There's so many different variations on vampires that we can. I mean, we've literally seen sparkling vampires. You might as well redo. Just give us. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm tripping over my own tongue at this point.
Oh,
yeah,
you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. I mean, since I'm assuming that I'm the only person who's read the source material, it's a very short story for them to be adapting into a feature. It's like maybe like 30 pages, and it's really it's got a cerebral aspect to it, which is intriguing. But it's just really these young boys trying to figure out what the hell has our father done before, and what does he still currently do? And he's becoming more aggro, more violent, more obsessive, and it's about his brooding psychosis. So there's a lot of potential to mine. It's just really gonna depend upon the script and if they can actually expand upon it and make it interesting, I think. So
okay. All right, well, let's move on to story number 11 here, and
this one goes to 11.
One of Hollywood's most crazily supported actresses right now, Anya Taylor-Joy, who we learned about long ago, but she gained popularity in The Witch, of course, and then she gained even more popularity with last year's The Queen's Gambit.
What was the
She literally broke everyone's mind on Netflix with The Queen's Gambit. So now everyone that isn't a horror fan could see why all of us horror fans loved Anya Taylor-Joy.
Was she in more?
She was in Split.
Too?
Yeah, I know. She was in more than that. Yeah, she was in Split.
I think The Witch was before Split.
The Witch was first, though. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but she definitely,
and she was in Morgan.
Yeah, she was in Morgan as well. Morgan was really, fucking rad. We reviewed really Morgan early on.
She's in that Soho movie too.
Yeah, the one that's coming up. Yeah.
That comes out the same week as Doom now.
Yeah, there's going to be, and we will talk about this on a certain show. It all too often is like
on your shit.
No.
Yeah.
But there is so much. There is so much the moving of release dates that's going to happen because the Addams Family 2, dude, Addams Family 2 CP is coming out the same week as Transylvania Transformation. That is not gonna.
Oh, Hotel Transylvania.
That's not gonna. They are not gonna go head to head. That makes donuts for sense, man.
If you look at September, October, November, you're like, oh boy, nobody's gonna make. They're just gonna cannibalize each other. It's hysterical.
Yeah, and it's because so many things as CP.
Dude, Halloween's gonna eat everything alive in October.
No. Bond is gonna be out.
Fuck Bond, dude. Halloween Kills is gonna outgross Bond.
My dad asks me every week when I'm at lunch on Sunday, "What's up with the James Bond movie, son?
Really?
When's that coming out?"
Christ,
and he's been
Bond
waiting for years. He's like, "It's the 25th Bond, right?"
God.
That's the
Save that
casual.
for your
That's
shitty show.
dude. That's the casual moviegoer. That's what they want to know about. You know. I mean, anyway.
I just couldn't get it. Anyway, Anya Taylor-Joy from all of these fantastic things is going to be in a movie called The Menu, which is a horror comedy based on the eccentric culinary culture, so to speak.
And this is one where I do want to bring up a little bit of additional information because if I recall correctly, Emma Stone was originally supposed to be starring in this, and then she left the project. And did they not only lose her, but they lost the director? And
What's with the actors and the eyes in the casting here?
Emma Stone Anya Taylor-Joy has fantastic eyes. She certainly doesn't have a 4-head like a 6-head or an 8-head.
She's dangerously close to having Wahlburger syndrome. Dangerously close.
She's a human cat. Let's be honest.
She has very big eyes. I will give her
No,
that.
they're like far apart. Emily.
That's what I'm saying. She's a human cat. Like literally, she's almost a fish. She can almost see like on the sides of her face.
Listen. I'm not shaming at all.
Well, CP, look. I mean, you're basically the Kim Kardashian of fucking YouTubers, so you can say whatever you want and get away with it, really.
Including divorce.
Oh, by the way,
Kanye.
that Halloween proclamation. Dune comes out the week after Halloween. Last Night in Soho comes out the week after Halloween.
Yeah, October's nuts, man.
Yeah. No. Jackass 4 the week.
Oh, that's the one we're gonna review for sure.
Yeah.
Fuego's like, I'm gonna fucking review Dune. Suck a dick.
Yeah. October's messy.
It is messy. Yeah. Trust me, I was doing. Look right here. I was doing our schedule: June, July, August, September. Look at, I'm so good. I got. Wait, hang on. September.
So can make calendars, everyone.
Yeah. October.
Now
November.
put them on the
I got all the horror shit ready to go, and I have our episodes. We're literally good through October at this point.
I thought you were telling me till almost December, but
almost December.
Nice.
Almost December.
I could drop something now that would be ready for October, but I can't.
Oh, what's that? You're fucking 31 on 31?
Oh, no. I think I have to wait till around October 15th.
All right, so let's see.
Well, so I was just going to give a brief synopsis about this film entitled The Menu.
Feel free.
Just to keep ourselves on course. Ralph Fiennes?
Rafe Fiennes.
Rafe
Fiennes. Say it right.
Rafe Fiennes.
Thank
That's
you.
why I'm asking, man. I'm saying I don't know for sure. He has also joined the cast, and just to give a brief synopsis of it, it is being produced by Adam McKay, so it is obviously going to have that like dramatic yet comedic sort of situation, pursuit. But it is a darkly comedic psychological thriller set in the world of eccentric culinary culture, centering on a young couple who visit an exclusive restaurant on a remote island when an acclaimed chef has prepared a lavishing tasting menu, and then Taylor-Joy.
A long description.
And then Taylor-Joy is going to play. Well, descriptions have to be about a paragraph,
I'm just
dude.
fucking around.
And then Taylor-Joy will play half of the couple. Fiennes is playing this chef. So I don't know if they're being served humans or like what the fuck is going on, but that's at least kind of where my
I think at some
spider
point
senses
Jennifer
are going.
Love Hewitt's going to show up and she's going to be like, "What are you waiting for, huh?
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?"
And she gets eaten, and then Anna Faris shows up and also says, "What are you waiting for?" and turns around screaming, just like in the first Scary Movie film.
They should also cast the Lone Ranger in there if it's going to be about cannibalism.
Oh, baby.
Armie Hammer, right?
Armie Hammer. He's ready to go for that. Yeah.
He's
like,
why
didn't I get a script? What the fuck?
CP, you want to go to Armie Hammer's barbecue, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
listen, good meat's good meat.
Good. Yeah, look,
and this is actually
if it's
where
not
we should
overcooked,
have had,
I'm not going to turn it down.
This is where we should have had this story and the final story next to each other.
Oh, I'll show you the final story next to each other. All right.
It's funny. Speaking of Hollywood has no new ideas. Huh? We had Jon Favreau's Chef about 6 years ago.
I've never seen that, but I've heard it's great.
Really good. Don't watch it.
I need to watch it with my lady because she's a big cook.
Hungry.
Oh yeah. Don't watch it hungry. I love.
No, she's
that
a
movie,
big cook. I think she'd love it.
Yeah, John Leguizamo. It's about making a food truck.
Good movie.
It's a great film.
It's a really it's just a
Dude, my girl's such a cook. Fuego. Fuck you, Fuego. Get out of here. I want to talk to CP for a second. No, CP, I wasn't bullshitting. If you come out, you're going to get some fucking sweet Mexican meals, bro. Starting October, you're going to have some fucking...
I don't know. We got Taco Bell here.
Oh my God. Dude, we're going to fatten you so fucking up. It's going to be crazy. Emily's not going to be able to fit on a plane home. That's how fat we're going to make you guys.
I want to get on a plane.
All right, so the next story we're going to talk about...
Chef in 1516, the movie called Burnt, which was with Bradley Cooper. Was a couple of years back.
I like Bradley Cooper.
That was an interesting movie. He was like a drug addict. Also, his money was all over the place. Very, very cocky. I'm wondering if they're going to capitalize on the narcissism of chefs that seems to be present, because both movies have this sort of arrogance that chefs think that they're, you're just cooking in the end.
Yeah, you know what? I do think that is the general presentation of chefs for people that aren't that familiar with chefs. They do have an air of sort of superiority about them. Like if your average Joe ran into fucking Gordon Ramsay on the fucking street, Gordon would fucking probably sooner piss in his face than like say, "Oh yeah, here's how you do this." You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, no, I can chime in from like lots of time in kitchens. There is a major difference between a cook and a chef.
Oh. Okay. What are the differences?
Well, it's about specialty of skill and the fact that as opposed to just working.
The chef gets the Salt Bay.
No. I mean, cooks just basically walk into a situation, they make food, they work off a recipe. A chef, I will at least give the distinction to some of my friends who are really good at coming up with their own recipes and riffing on things and really have some culinary expertise in comparison. So I do think there is a difference,
Yeah,
I mean, a cook is at like your local diner and he's not doing shit, or he or she.
Yeah, it's like an editor versus a YouTuber.
True.
So we might be able to get through story number 12 here pretty quickly. So Donny Cates is a comic book writer. He actually just finished his Venom run from Venom 1 through Venom 200, which was like 50 issues in between. He did a great job, and he actually created a comic called God Country, which is now being adapted and is going to be helmed by the director behind the original Stakeland movie. So God Country is really cool. It's a fantastic book. It's like a 7-issue comic book series that was collected, and it was just done really well. I don't want to talk too much about it because, quite frankly, when I read it, it was on a trip where it turns out that my girlfriend at the time ended up cheating on me for like 6 months, I found out. So,
TMI.
Yeah, it has a little bit of baggage when it comes to me, but the book itself is fantastic. What?
Okay, so was it a one-off? Was it like a
It's a 7-issue series. Yes, it's like I believe it was 7 issues, might be 6, but it was, yes, a limited series that is going to be continued and has been referenced in the current series Crossover, which is written by the same guy, Donny Cates. They're up to issue 6 of Crossover, and the sword that is featured in God Country that you can see up there is called Valifax, and the sword Valifax actually shows up in the Crossover comic book that is going right now. So God Country is going to play a role in comics now, and if you haven't read it yet, it's just really, really good storytelling. So I'm excited to see the God Country adaptation, to be honest with you. Okay, let's move on to
books.
Story number 3. No, I get it.
No,
story number 13.
I'm excited about this too because of the fact that the Stake Lane director is involved, the Sweet Tooth showrunner is involved.
Yes, the Sweet Tooth, the co-showrunner of Sweet Tooth.
So there's a lot of talent coming together, talking about this story.
God Country is going to be huge for people. I think they're going to really like it. So, all right, next up is story number 13, which is Netflix has officially greenlit a Castlevania spin-off series now that the Castlevania proper series has finished after 4 seasons.
Shocker.
This one is going to star Richter, Belmont, who is the son of Trevor and the girl from son of Trevor and Sifa from the first Castlevania series. And that Castlevania series, if you haven't watched it, especially if you're a Castlevania fan, you're just depriving yourself some outstanding animated shit. Not only that, but the people that are behind the animation of the Castlevania series are also the people that are behind the animation of the Masters of the Universe reboot that is coming in just a month or so. So if you're interested to know how the animation of Masters of the Universe is going to look, you're going to want to check out the Castlevania series, because that's it.
Yeah, I'm stoked for this. I was a big fan of all 4 seasons and how they developed everything, had a beginning, a middle, and an end to the storytelling. And yes, this new one is apparently going to be taking place during the French Revolution, if I'm not mistaken. So
sure.
yeah, so it's a number of years later, and it's not going to have any presumed main recurring characters, although I wouldn't be surprised if Alucard shows up at least here or there, since he is still, out and about and doing his sort of stuff. But that CP, this video game series or the Netflix series, familiarity or affinity for Castlevania?
I loved the video games. I was young enough to remember Castlevania for Nintendo, part 1.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too big into the animated stuff, so should I just keep saying? Well, is it, you guys know it more than I do.
It's a short commitment. The first season was only like 8 episodes or 6 episodes. The second season was like 12. The third season was 12, and the fourth season was like 8. So it's a short commitment, and I personally think it's very worth your time.
If you're not into anime, though, I mean, it might not.
That's true. If you're not into anime, it might not be
really
your thing.
resonate. So
Yeah. I plead the fifth.
That's all.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm excited about this. I'm glad that Shanker and his people are continuing.
Adi, right? Adi,
Adi
who the interesting thing about Adi Shankar is, if you don't recall, he was the one behind the Punisher Dirty Laundry short film
and the
Power Rangers short fan film. So that guy is the creative force behind the Castlevania stuff on Netflix. So if you like those fan films, those are, and realistically, I mean, CP, I know you have a particular dick you like to suck, but these fan films did go before Never Hike Alone.
I'm sorry, who just premiered the episode with, here's a package from Womstomp Films. I'm not going to mention the fact that he's also a producer on my movie. Derpy, derp. Oh, well, what are the odds?
Fair point.
You can't fucking win with me, motherfucker.
Bitch, I can cut your camera off right now.
All right, fair. You can win.
And I'm just hanging out here. If I had proverbial popcorn, I'm just
you'd
looking
be
at
Michael
the
Jackson.
comments. I'm just talking movies.
All right, so let's move on to story number 14, which is both interesting and not interesting. So, and the reason I say that is because they're apparently investing so much into this Stranger Things Robin Buckley character. So
she's
Robin,
gonna be a big character in the fourth season.
Third and fourth season. She was the one.
Because the third was already. She debuted in the third season.
Yeah, she debuted in the third, gained popularity in the fourth, but she is the one of the ice cream slingers, right?
Have they only done 3 seasons?
They've only done 3.
Yeah, it's the 4th season. That
She debuted in the third, but became really popular in the third as well. So what I'm saying is, she now has a podcast series that is a prequel series,
along with the book,
as well as a novel. Yes. That is debuting, featuring just her character, which is, I feel it's a little bit weird, because when we saw her, it didn't seem like she knew about the weirdness of the town. However, now, since it's a prequel series, and it does apparently feature a monster of some kind, she will have encountered a monster in Hawkins and just didn't tell anyone about it in the actual series. So it's a little bit weird, but I'm always interested in the evolution of mediums, and the fact that there is a podcast series that is now going to be coming out about Stranger Things that people might be interested in following just as an audio experience. I really like that. I think that that's really cool, and significant of more cool stuff that we could get outside of the usual mediums that we're used to.
And the distinction to give here is that this is a scripted podcast. So this is like a full-on radio drama sort of situation. And that's where it's very amusing to me how what's old is new at this particular point, because remember the prominence of radio dramas. Somebody that CP is a big fan of is kind of upping his subscription base currently with
you're talking about Dino?
With just replaying radio dramas from back in the day, and it's funny, but
playing old fucking horror radio transmissions.
He replays old radio dramas and stuff, and this isn't me
Gee
talking
whiz.
shit,
It's so creative, though, Fuego.
But no, it's the point that I'm trying to make,
super
guys,
original. I
is
mean,
that
representing other people's materials. How could you not go? I mean, what's
the
to go wrong there?
But the fact
wait a minute, he's got like a picture in the background, so that's.
Oh
yeah,
my
exactly.
God! I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
so embarrassed.
So you're like,
everything except the picture in the background is a representation of other people's work.
Yeah, you're like,
I apologize.
I throw the image in my iMovie,
I'm sorry.
and I dump in the audio, and I'm golden.
Look, Fuego,
baby.
you're being aggressive to a guy that obviously is superior to our
Listen,
quality.
9 months.
I
9
mean,
months.
Dude.
I love everybody, including you, you fat fuck.
Yeah. I didn't even stand up for you, you fat piece of shit. Oh, okay. All right, great. Yeah, thanks.
But I think that to circle back to the point that I'm trying to make, I find it very funny that these sort of audio dramas are coming back into play, because I loved them in the 90s when I was listening to like Shadows of the Empire and the Star Wars stuff that I used to check out at the library and everything. And so they are popular once again because everybody is driving around on the subway, and they want to not just listen to people talk about sports or listen to music. They want to experience storytelling, and that's what we're gonna have with this. It is saying a lot to really push this character to such a prominence, and it does make you think in season 4 she's going to be a much bigger player than just with fucking Steve's little side story. She's going to be more of a player. But then again, she's Hollywood royalty. She's like Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke's daughter, and she's carving out a career right now. So that probably has something to do with it, but I've enjoyed the little side stories like the prequel Harbor story, the one about Eleven's mother, Runaway Sam was the worst of them, but there's also a book coming out about her too. So there is a simultaneous book release and this new scripted podcast drama, audio drama sort of thing. So, and that's a couple days away, dude. I think it's like the 29th or 30th or something. So that's coming up this week, or this upcoming week. So
I don't know. I'm intrigued, but I'm not going to really seek it out unless it's really worthwhile. So I'll let you fill us in on that.
Yeah, which I will.
All right. Well, let's go to the last story, and then if there's any trailer talk that CP wants to do after that, we can certainly get to it. And that is that Amazon ordered a pilot episode for the cannibal series, The Horror of Dolores Roach. I don't know much beyond that, Fuego.
Well, I mean, the big thing is that it is loosely based on, what's his name? The murder barber of Fleet Street.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why I was trying to bring up so this actually, ironically enough, so much is starting a scripted podcast now and becoming turned into a visual sort of thing, this being one of them. So Amazon Studios ordered a pilot based on the hit Gimlet podcast, and so this is one about a girl who spent, from what I concurred in the article, a lot of time in jail, and then when she is released, she basically has no boyfriend, her friends are gone, family has relocated, and she goes back to this restaurant that she used to work at, which has seemingly been abandoned, and I don't know where you dispel the actuality of her somehow being able to open up a business there, but she does, and she is serving the same sort of meat pies that we saw in the source material, but it is taking a Hispanic-centric, if that is okay enough for me to say. Roxanne Dawson is attached to direct, and Blumhouse are doing this for their television sector, so we would presume it'll probably be Hulu or maybe FX, because they work in conjunction with each other a lot of the time. And then the girl who is the star in the new Forever Purge film is apparently going to lead things off, and it is described as a grotesque Sweeney Todd-inspired tale of Eat or Be Eaten, a macabre urban legend of love, betrayal, weed, gentrification, cannibalism, and survival of the fittest. And so
Conolingus.
yeah. And yet they only have a pilot order, so everybody keep in mind that when you only have a pilot order, there is
does not mean it's going to series.
There's no guarantee that we're going to see this actually come to light. But I think this sort of Hispanic urban spin on this is dope, and I'm totally okay with it. It'll probably, because of the fact that Day of the Dead and all of that stuff, that sort of gothic aspect lends itself to Mexican culture, and I think could be really cool if done properly with this sort of story in a Los Angeles setting. But everything Los Angeles. Give me a break, Los Angeles.
So I gotta give a shout out. So we got a super chat from DMC Campbell. It says, I think it means New Zealand $10.
Yep. NZ is
says, forgive me. Hey guys, looking forward to Wolf Creek 3. Have 1 and 2 at home on Blu-ray. I'm cautiously trying to stay open-minded about the latest Christine adaptation. You like that? Yeah, shut the fuck up, CP.
Yeah, that sounds more like a. That sounds more like an Aussie than a Kiwi.
Fuck you!
Bro.
It's clear. The Aussie and New Zealand sound similar, so you don't know what I was doing.
No, there's a much more of a pinch in the New Zealand.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Look, I was pinched in my butthole.
And there's a major rivalry going back to some.
Yeah, they don't.
Sports
Christ, I'm just
stuff.
trying to have some fun. You guys want to pick me apart a little more? Holy shit!
Well, do it right if you're gonna have
Shut the
fun.
fuck up, CP. All right, so that is it for all of our actual news stories. CP, what else? What else do you want to talk about?
All right, so it was a heavy trailer week.
Yes, heavy trailer week.
We talked about one. We talked about Karen, which we kind of all. Are you all right?
Yeah, I was just getting the right thing on the right graphic up. So.
Okay. So Karen is the wrong way to capitalize on something that's going on in this country. Another film released a trailer that I would argue did it right. And again, these are just trailers. Everything could be changed. Karen could be an Oscar-worthy, fucking brilliant masterpiece. I mean,
guessing no.
I wouldn't put money on it, but we all can be wrong. Trailers have certainly fucked over many a movie.
Yeah, it's an innocent till proved guilty sort of thing, right? So
yeah. But Candyman had a new trailer that came out, and it was very it told the story of what's going on in America much more seriously, much more with much more respect, and it's subtext. It's not, if you don't want to hear about how cops are killing black people, you could still just watch a movie about a guy who was fucking bees that are killing people. But there's some serious shit going on in that Candyman trailer. I don't know. Oh wait, you guys do a trailer show.
We just did the reaction before we did this. So yeah, we watched it.
All right. So are you spoiling if you talk about it? Am I?
No, not much. And
not at all.
And I mean, Marcia was along with us for it, and they saw the initial reactions, but I was happy we finally got a story trailer that was giving a little bit more context about the subtext, but also the continuation proper of the series, and it looks like it is not going to have any sort of humorousness that we would expect from a Jordan Peele. It is going to take the aforementioned subject matter that they kind of dance upon in the first film, but Cecil reminded me in Farewell to the Flesh, they really go for the one in New Orleans. I think we're going to see some excessive exploration, and properly so.
Right. And Cecil?
No, I don't really have anything to add. I'm just excited about what we're going to get, to be honest with you. The interesting thing is, as I was doing the schedule for the next few months,
it looks brutal.
There's so many horror movies every single goddamn month that like we don't have a chance to really put up a lot of original material because almost every Friday for the next few months is covered by some sort of horror movie release. So
well, just do like radio shows then. If you don't have time for original material,
we'll handle it.
Oh, I shouldn't have put that up.
Work. Don't worry, CP. But I'm just saying it's a lot more than I anticipated because we missed out on a year. It feels like everything's been doubled up. So we're getting twice as many horror releases as we would normally.
Hollywood's like, go quick! People are back. Everybody triple up on everything. And I guess the last thing I'll ask us to discuss is that there was a Blumhouse movie that dropped a trailer a week early.
Yeah, numbers were good for us.
They're not bad. They're like 4.5K.
Some other people, but
I mean, they're not Cody Leach numbers or Drum Dums numbers or We
Drum
Watched
Dums,
a Movie
who was
numbers.
That last person? I'm not sure.
Drum Dums is the authority on
Halloween. Yeah.
So,
I thought it was Wolf. Doesn't Wolf also kind of...
Wolf does his thing. He actually had to do something before he went on.
Did you say
Holiday?
Wolf?
Wolf?
Yeah, Wolf/Barry. Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
look,
I don't know
I'm not
personally.
talking shit about
I'm
Wolf.
I
like
Facebook.
Wolf fine. But yeah, he did his thing. But I mean, We Watched a Movie are the ones that react to every Halloween thing twice because they do it as themselves and they do it as Michael and Loomis, so they get to double dip on everything. Which good for them, you know. But yeah, I mean, we can only do as much as we can with a single trailer reaction here.
So the major gripe that I'm seeing is people are pissed that they're showing too much in this trailer.
Yeah, CP. Hey, how much are they actually showing in the trailer? I don't know that you would know specifically, but why don't you tell everyone if they should be concerned or not? Because I'm guessing not.
I would venture to say that people have nothing to worry about when it comes to third act stuff. People are thinking that the firefighter thing is like all of Michael Myers fucking people up. That maybe isn't even a third of it. Most of what's in the trailer, if I had to guess, this is just me guessing, of course.
Sure.
I don't have a dog in the race. I have no prior knowledge, of course. This is just me guessing with my expertise of all the trailers that I've watched in my life.
Sure.
What you're looking at is first and second act stuff.
It felt even less like that to me. It felt like maybe first 20, 30 minutes, and then we're going to call it a day, you know?
Yes, the opening minute was essentially the opening minute. I mean, they showed you the end of 2018. They showed you the end of 2018, and then how Michael Myers gets out of the house. What is too much? What the fuck are we talking about?
You mean he kills people after leaving the house?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Why is he? Oh, he's killing people. Yeah. The title's Halloween Kills. What the fuck? Then Halloween Runs.
And also even more so from what I saw, like minor, minuscule sort of like throw them on the pile kind of characters that I wouldn't imagine have any major impact onto the narrative. And so for that reason, I'm just like, really? Because people
you
in
mean
the
like the lady that went to the
group,
graveyard in the first movie that ends up getting killed in the actual trailer for this one? Oh, that was just one person. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Ben, you are absolutely right. Ben says you can watch the CP reaction. It's the most important reaction to the trailer.
Yes, absolutely. Let's drive all the traffic we can over there.
Indeed.
And
as
patrons of mine can certainly get a bit more.
Patrons who actually just got a BTS look at how you put together one of those award-winning 31 on 31-esque videos.
I don't win awards. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I know. That's why I was being facetious.
All right. You didn't have to watch it. The other thing was, did you catch the three masks from Halloween 3? Did you catch
dude,
Season of the Witch?
Talk about Easter eggs. Those were hidden like a mother.
Holy shit, guys! I don't know if you noticed that, but that's what's her face in the mask.
That's Marion, right? Because you saw her being pulled out of the window earlier in the trailer, and then it's the same clothes. Woo!
It's not how it happens.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, good. Then everyone's so much smarter than they think they are. I love that.
You know, it would be cool if Michael Myers actually killed teenagers in this movie.
Right?
Wouldn't that be crazy?
That'd be I saw the mask and I was like, well, kids were wearing those masks in the last movie. Maybe it's the same people, and everyone's like, no, it's not the same people.
Halloween,
it's adults,
right? If it's the same night, it's still Halloween.
No. A bunch of adults robbed those kids and took their masks.
Yeah,
including Marion.
What would a slasher be without the death of adolescence and and whatever craziness they're going off and engaging in? So
again, I'm just guessing, but people making a big stink over there being too much footage. You're drunk. You're missing a lot.
We love you, Cody Leach. I saw he was upset about that.
I told Cody privately. I said, Cody, no. There's somebody brought it up in the things you missed trailers, which make me angry because those things can exist, but I can't even say certain words, or else I get a nice little that letter in the mail from Universal. But the Myers house was brought up in the trailer, or alluded to in the trailer, and that might be a big deal, wouldn't you say? If that were the case,
maybe so.
Maybe.
That might be third act material.
That hospital might be a big deal if they're paralleling part 2, and I barely saw the hospital. That's so strange.
God, it's crazy. There was actually a point at the hospital where it felt like I was like, if they actually did a cameo from Danielle Harris, the hospital might be a really fucking great place for that to happen. Just a guess, though.
Well, I mean, the big thing that I wanted to mention, and I know that
I guess things. That's all.
No.
Yeah, I know CP has loads of love for Jason Blum, but the fact that he got on Twitter and was just like, hey, I have no issues spoiling stuff on trailers.
that little. No, I posted that picture. From a year ago.
That's what. But the fact that he admitted to that, and some of his admittance actually was kind of valid. He's like, with the fact that everything's streaming and attention spans.
Dude, I think that's such bullshit. I think Vince actually had a good. He's like, if I'm gonna quote, it's Halloween. There's nothing that's gonna compete with the brand name of Halloween.
However, though, I think that there is so much going on with the casual, not even horror fan, the casual viewer. Jason did say, he's like, attention spans and this is me verbatim quoting Basketball, where he's like, they're measured in nanoseconds between fucking TikTok and every streaming option that people have right now. So, and the fact that people want to watch reviews with spoilers before they even see a movie. I think culture's changed drastically, and that's not me giving it any credence or admonishing it.
I feel like it is. I feel like it's all you.
I will counter,
because I don't do that
Fuego.
shit.
If he didn't give a shit, he wouldn't make people sign NDSs. Mm-hmm. And not that I have knowledge of any of that, but
I would have called it an NDA, but it seems like someone with insider information might have called it an NDS.
Well, I said an NDS.
Oh,
yeah. See, that's how much I don't want you to know what I'm talking about.
It's a non-disclosure, sucker.
Well, as somebody who saw a terrible movie last year called Invincible, whatever the hell the new one with
you take that back
with Mark Wahlberg. Well, now I can say it.
That Invincible.
Yeah. I saw that last year, and I had to sign and everything, and that movie was absolute shit. And
And now you're fired. Great, thanks. All right. Looking for a new host for the horror show.
I mean, sometimes it happens with good films and bad films and whatever. They protect all the time, I think, regardless. But I mean, maybe you guys know better than me. I'm just speaking on my very limited experience. So.
I'm not on my channel where people at Universal are looking at me. So let me just say that I am very excited based strictly on the trailer. This is a Friday the 13th guy telling you that if you are a Friday the 13th fan, you should be very excited for Halloween Kills. If you like gore, You saw it in the trailer. You should be very excited for Halloween Kills.
Dude, the light bulb I was just like,
the fluorescent bulb in the throat looked cool.
It's just like gross.
There's more than that. I'm wondering.
Does that annoying little black kid get killed? Please say yes. Please say yes. Sorry. Moving on.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, I would wonder.
He's not even in the trailer.
He's in the movie.
Oh.
I would say to watch 2018. Do a double bill.
I will. I plan on it.
And then Kills, because there's Easter eggs that I've heard about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've heard certainly not the witch mask and the
and Cecil, who told you about how Myers got out a year and a half ago?
I couldn't say. I would risk getting someone in trouble.
Well,
but yeah, no. Someone said. Someone
I can't
said.
say it.
I can't remember who, but someone said when the fire department arrived that he uses that as his, trap springing sort of situation. And, one firefighter falls through the floor because it's not as structurally sound, and then Michael gets his way out and just fucking starts ripping people apart. I can't remember who told me that, but that's pretty much what I remember them telling me.
It's definitely not me.
Yeah.
But with that said,
sounds accurate though.
You guys keep trusting all everybody else.
All of our anonymous sources. And, about this situation.
Look, if it doesn't come out of Lee's mouth, I don't believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Just he knows everything, and 100%. I'm just a shithead who is a Friday the 13th fan. Just remember that.
Well, and something to remember is I'm not a big fan of either of those franchises. I'm not a big Friday or Halloween person, and yet this trailer impressed me.
It's incredible.
I didn't like 2018 very much at all. I thought Carpenter's new score was pretty fucking good, and I really enjoyed his update on certain aspects of it. But the movie as a whole was just kind of ho-hum. I liked the Laurie presentation and H2O significantly more, as far as being like a stronger, more just well-defined character. But this looks like the kind of slasher I could get behind. It does feel like it's taking a little bit more inspiration from the gritty grossness of those Rob Zombie ones, which I was kind of here and there on.
Not much.
From a visual perspective and from a violence perspective, because I didn't think the last one was that violent.
Hey,
personally.
How did you feel about... You saw Freddy vs. Jason, right?
Oh, I love it. I love Freddy vs. Jason.
How did you feel about that cornfield scene where Jason just...
I still appreciate Jason stuff. Okay, I mean,
he's trying to say that there's a scene like it where Michael Myers just fucks people up.
Oh well, it's the kegger and the cornfield scene which he's talking about, and that scene is terrific.
Three scenes like that. Oh shit!
And he's just going through. He's just plowing, man.
I hope he makes his way through town a little bit more after the last one. That'd be pretty fun.
I mean, I've told CP and Chauncey knows this too, that I also love Jason X, so I'm in the minority.
Oh, you guys!
As far as Friday purists go, because of the fact that I'm not like a big lover of the head smash, the frozen face.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd love to tell you guys how much I am enthusiastic about this movie, but I can speak no further.
Which to me sounds pretty enthusiastic because he doesn't normally say that about Halloween movies. So,
right, exactly. The Halloween community hates me. They fucking hate me because I say things that aren't zombified like their favorites on YouTube. But I'm telling you, as the guy you hate, you have a lot of reason to be very excited this October.
I think I will be. I love gore, and I think I'm going to enjoy the movie a lot. So
yeah,
we shall see though.
So last question, CP, and since this is a horror-centric question, do you think with how good F9 did this weekend, do you think they made the right decision holding off on this for a box office release? Halloween Kills being
with what
instead of putting it out last year.
Well, instead of like something Kim and I talked about with the group
with October
on the Monday show, do you think they were right to wait on it and do a theatrical instead of something otherwise?
This October, it looks messy.
It's crowded.
I don't. I mean, they did kind of a pussy way out because they let China have it for an hour with that Excuse me. Fast and Furious was in China for a month, so they kid gloved it for a little bit and then made their money just in case. But as far as Halloween is concerned, it's going to make its money, but it's not going to stick the way 18 did because there's just too much stuff coming out because everybody's catching up with 2021.
Yeah, the clog and congestion and everything like we talked about. Yeah.
I forgot. Universal's what, 17 days? Is that 17 or 45? What is your?
Yeah, offhand, I'm trying to remember.
That's a tomorrow discussion.
That's a show.
Yeah,
business
exactly,
question.
exactly. I was just, I mean, without getting into super box office specifics.
Yeah, we can carry this into tomorrow.
We can.
Nice tease.
Yeah, there you go.
So
everyone tune in to Show Business tomorrow on CP's Wiliscredia channel.
Indeed.
Feel free to do so. I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. We've been going for over 2 hours, so thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to CP for joining us for the discussion this week.
Thank you for getting sued by Universal.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and subscribe. Thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the channel like you do. We greatly appreciate it. Until next time, though, I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias of Jaime Fuego.
And that guy
is not.
Right. And remember, stay scared.
Stay scared.